Give you shit. It's more fun than the
That's
meeting.
fine. Listen, I deserve
Owls on.
Al is on. Hey, we're back in session. We've been joined by the auditor, Pat Dropsy. Three commissioners and Stacy are still here, and Al Lawrence from the News Journal. Welcome back. And we're going to talk, you're going to tell us how much revenue we're going to have since I see this paperwork in front of me.
Yes, sir. So I got, if you look at the green column, that's the actual revenue through the end of November. And then this time I added another column, which was the red column over to the right. That is actual revenue from last December to give an idea of what we could expect this December.
Hold on.
So if we come now, the one thing I pulled out of the December from last year, both for the jail, because I've added the jail to this, even though they weren't part of the general fund last year, and they are part of it this year. And also I pulled out the CARES money from the general fund that was received last year. And I pulled out the CARES money that was received by the jail in December last year. So those two are not included.
All that's out of there. So what we're looking at is the what's in there now, or what will be in there next year. Okay.
So if you look at the red column, go to the last page. Last year, we brought in almost 3.5 million in the month of December, but 600,000 of that is from the jail. If we bring in 3 million in the month of December, we'll be at 41.7 for total revenue for 2021. If we bring in anything closer to what we like, if we bring in 3.4 million like we did last December, then we'll end up with 42.2 million and some change in revenue for 2021. And as far as the sales tax, if we bring in last year's sales tax was 1.875 at the December. So if we bring that in or close to that, we'll have 24 million.
We're gonna be close around that 24.2. We bring in what we brought in December, we'll be at 24. We did this a couple of days ago. We were tracking at about 15% better than last year. Now, we'll give you a little bit of cause for concern. Looking at November receipts from last year, November receipts this year, we were only about 8% better.
Right.
So if I figured in December of last year and did 8% better, we'll be at 24,181.
And that's reasonable.
If we do the 15% better, we will be at 24.
This is the reason why I say that's reasonable. Let's remember last December, there were still a lot of restrictions that were in the state.
Yeah.
Those restrictions don't exist for the most part this year.
You go to Columbus where we have to wear.
Yeah, I'm going to Columbus on
We'll be there.
Friday night because my wife got tickets to the Cirque show. You have to show your
Yeah, we went.
You have to show your card, but they allow you to show it electronically instead of the actual card or a negative test.
So we think 24. I think it's comfortable. I think we'll get to 24.1.
That's reasonable because the thing that I would argue is, like I said, this December is not as restrictive as last December. And even though they keep talking about the supply chain and how disrupted it is, I don't see a lot of that around here, or at least locally. And even in Columbus, we've been in Columbus a couple times down in Easton and Polaris. And the pictures you see on TV with empty shelves, I don't see them. It's around here, or whether it's in Columbus. So, I mean, that's a situation in which it's all new to everybody. I'm starting to believe that there's a lot of people crying wolf. So I don't know. I just only know what I see. And I don't see those empty shells
We
around here.
have a new new variety of the COVID,
Omicron.
but you get cold symptoms,
I
not
don't even want to discuss that because somebody sits there and everybody in the medical community says it's not as bad.
right.
Okay.
Exactly.
But yet you get the medical czar of Washington DC that gets on TV and says, now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
The mayor of New York is closing.
Oh, you want, hey, listen, I don't have a problem looking at you guys and say, you want to be an idiot? Look, you follow his lead.
Exactly.
You can be, he'll teach you how to be an idiot.
Yeah.
You kidding me? And then he's going to run for governor? Unbelievable.
Yep. Well,
I don't understand.
So Patrick,
Yes, sir.
thank you, first off. I will say, you said 23-8 when we last talked, and you're saying 24-1-ish.
Yeah, it should.
I think the punishment for being that far off, what's that, jail?
Hey,
I
some people might say, make me go watch a Duke game with Tony.
oh, how did that come out? I didn't see the score.
Could be worse. You could watch an Iowa State game with Daryl, but then nobody's watching.
3. I'd watch Iowa State.
Hey.
They've been fun to watch last time.
Right, we're ranked.
But then again,
And football?
No,
No,
no.
I'm talking football.
then again, I don't mind watching Duke either. Tell you the truth, they're interesting. Especially when they played Gonzaga. That was a great game.
Was a great game.
But it was even a better game when they played Ohio State.
Yeah.
They had no business. Ohio State
Stop
had
it.
no business being in the
It-
game. Okay. They were what, like 1 for 12 from the foul line in the first half?
The line was 3. I think Vegas.
Doesn't matter what the line was. The bottom line was they played like crap in the first half, and Duke should have been up by 25 instead of 15.
So how did that come out, Stacy?
So wait, so we're willing to go up to 24 for next year, right? Wait, we need.
I didn't say that now. Wait a minute.
That's what we're here to talk about. I
We
was.
haven't talked about next year yet. We were talking about this year.
Well, what are you willing to do for next year?
We're at
What am I
20.
Going to do for next year?
Give us. Would you be willing to head nod another 100,000 to go up to 24? And if the answer is
Yes.
no, we'll make it work.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that. In fact, I'll probably do that today. As soon as I leave here and go back over and I'll update them.
You're saying 24 million in sales tax for 2022.
Correct. I will go certify that.
So how close are we? Ooh, we're gonna be so close. $12,200. We're so close.
1,300.
Now, this gives you some other things to consider. Okay, hold on with your 12,000. All right. Let's look on this sheet here.
Gets his glasses out like it makes it harder. So.
It does.
No, but there's no cameras here.
Yes, there are. You're on camera.
Camera.
Al's looking at you, shaking his head
Hi, Al.
at you. And any member of the public who can
So-
hear this.
So let's go to, let me find, which page do I want to go to? Let's go to the county auditor's page. Okay,
Hold on. I'm there.
based on the last 2 years, the conveyance forms and the way real estate's still going strong, I'll probably raise that to at least 1.25 in conveyance fees.
There we go. We're balanced.
And only because,
You're gonna raise it to what now?
well, right now I have, what do I have for next year? Because I don't have that in front of me.
Convenience fees?
Conveyance,
Man.
yeah. It's,
You got 1.7.
No.
that's actual.
That's actual. I'm sorry.
It's in the 200, the 02 department.
I have, hold on. I'll have that right here.
So for next year, I have certified so far
Now, where do you usually put that in your revenue, Stacy?
Pat'll have to get that back.
The 2020, it's actually, I only have 1 million certified. But I'm gonna change that to 1.25 million. So that's an extra 250,000.
We're good.
Now, also, I want you to look at,
We're good.
I know, but I still want you to look at the purple column. That's what has, if it has parentheses around it, that is still below the estimate. And that's just for your own per review, so you can look and see what differences are. Now, what I always do in the month of December is I'll go through that and then I'll call the department and ask them what do they anticipate for December. But the one I want to point out that I've already talked to the sheriff's office about is the new contract with the city of Mansfield for the jail. Pointing out to them that they're at 900,000 below the estimate. So they're gonna do some research and then give me a call back and figure out why. Last year, the city paid 600,000 in the month of December.
I'd have to look to see what I'm billed and then the other $300,000 is the sales tax.
Okay.
Then we go back.
So I'm gonna,
But I can tell you what I billed them. That's
Okay.
not due until December 31st.
It's always at the end of at the last.
I think I told them December 30th by noon this year
Okay,
because they wait until the very last second to give me their check.
hold on, Pat. I'm-
Jail income show up, Pat?
if you go to, let's see, go to the,
Second to last.
second to last page, it's under sheriff dash jail. It's at the bottom, it's 25-4 is the department number.
Okay.
And it'll be the Mansfield annual fee.
I don't know if Laura's transferred over that $300,000 that we hold back from sales
Okay.
tax or two.
I'll have
I
her,
forget
I'll
what
have
it
her
was
give you a
this year.
call.
And that end up transferring back in, but I don't think it ever shows up
That's based on number of inmates, right?
in that line. No, it's based on a set of beds.
We'll need
Oh,
Same thing?
need it next
well, no, it's
They pay
bad
for
whether they're
80.
used or not.
year.
If I remember,
I know.
Inflation.
that's, all I remember is the old contract. I don't know what the new contract says.
That's where you're showing short 902,000.
Right.
Doing my best, Pat Dropsy, and often imitated, never duplicated.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think we're gonna come in around 42.5 for total revenue. That might be a little low, but that was a conservative. Looking at how we were trending in 2021, if you remove, so when you send out your monthly, I track as well. What I've looked at in particular are our top 8 revenue sources. We've been tracking about 17% better as a whole in 2021 as opposed to 2020.
Mhm.
Then what I do is I look at the total. And again, remember, we moved jail and we have the COVID. So what I've done is I've removed the jail and I've removed COVID. And as a whole, our revenues have been tracking 12% better than 2020. That's what I've sort of looked at. So I took what you think will be in December, and then I added 10% to it, as opposed to even 12, just for,
Okay.
and then added it to our year to date. I got 42,574,077.
Doing it that way is you're adding 10%, but you're backing off what so you're adding 10% to like 2.8.
So where do you think won the year? We could play the game to see who gets closer.
I won last year. Why should I do it again?
Where are we gonna end up?
Where do I think we're going to end up? I think we're going to be at 42.3. I have no mathematical computation.
I'd say 42.5.
Okay. Lunch.
Lunch? No, but if I go over, I don't lose. It's whoever's closest.
Closest.
This isn't Price is Right rules. This is close.
Closest.
All right.
Doesn't matter about who's over or under.
Okay.
It's closest.
Closest prices, non-Price is Right rules.
I'll buy you a pizza.
And on the record, I want the minutes to reflect that.
Yeah. Whoever is closest.
Tony's 42.5.
I'm
What
42.3.
do you think? Stacy's an expert too. What do you think?
I'd have to look at everything. I've been looking at 22 expenses, not 21 revenues.
What do you think, Daryl? Which,
42.9.
I think we're gonna be 42.9?
No. You're at 42.5. You're at 43.5.
40, I said 42.3.
42.
Well, I should go 42.3000001. But I won't do that.
42.75.
42.75?
I didn't know he was in.
But you-
Wait, are you in on?
50,000?
All right, he's beat a budget. It's just you and I.
I just went halfway between you two.
Al, did you get that? Did you hear Pat's gonna owe me a lunch?
I swear, my fingers don't work on this touch screen. Are you talking revenue for this year? How you're gonna end up? Or are you
Yes.
estimating for next year?
This year,
I know Pat's the money guy. I believe in Pat.
I may make Al buy me lunch.
I'm also very conservative because I never want to make the commissioners look bad.
Well, you're gonna look worse when I'm close.
You know what? I'll be happy to buy lunch over that.
So we've been doing better on expenses too, but let's just for estimates then, and thank you, Pat. Can you send that to me electronically? You know, I love the electronic.
Sure.
If I look at expenses,
You want me to leave that red column on there?
yeah, oh yeah, that's,
Okay. Yeah,
That's the-
yeah. I haven't done the expenses yet for November, but I'll get.
so then if I look, Pat, hold on a second. If I look at expenses. So expenses through October. We were at 38,491. Right? That's what we were at 3186. We have another 8.3 left. So if we subtract, let's even do 42.5. Let's even do yours, because even though you'll be wrong, you said 42.3.
Yes.
$42.3. Stupid calculator. Minus 3,849. It's 3.8. It's a good. Okay. So if all things considered, unless the roof blows off, and in my case at our house, our farmhouse, we'll be in the black for 2021,
Sure.
which is why we do budget.
Which is why you guys have stuck to your guns since you passed that resolution. Each and every year.
Budgeting 101. So with that said, although I'm still waiting an answer from probation, JJ's work was, Judy's out, she'll be back tomorrow. At least as of now, we have a balanced budget for 2022, which I can't wait to go text Marilyn. We've never been done this quickly. It's changed.
I'll tell you, it's
Right, I know. That's exactly the answer.
I'll take the credit too.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with her. So, right out, we gotta have fun with Marilyn, right?
Yeah, I would say, challenge her to try to get the legislature to do the same thing.
Oh, headline should be here. Commissioners upgrade with mirrors, gets budget done in the black and ahead of schedule.
what do we do with
I think,
treasure?
well, I think Bart, with the treasurer, I think Bart will come in, right? They've scheduled a time.
Okay.
Again, I think we need to be clear. Not that we never appropriate money beyond salaries, but I think it's been pretty clear that if there's an increase, we always need an explanation.
Exactly.
Other than, well, I guess I'll just have to lay off my staff, but I'm confident that we'll get it resolved.
I gotta call in the juvenile court too to talk to them. Do I need to push that?
No. You can tell them Christmas comes early.
Tell him to come up and plant one on his cheek.
Al, you got any questions?
Yeah. Could you kind of summarize some of the major things you did to cut budget and some of the, what you did in terms to increase the revenue projection?
On the expense items, we started out looking at the big budgets. And one of the main things is the jail. They wanted a $225,000 fingerprint machine. And we cut that out, and they went back and figured out a less expensive way of doing that. You don't need to replace what they have at this time. Also in the sheriff's, the ARPA money is going to buy a couple of their cruisers. Those were two of the big. And there were others.
Look, we're not naive to the fact, Al, that obviously the American Rescue Plan Act helped us. Now, we didn't do anything that we hadn't done in the past. So while we're still yet to decide whether the Rescue Plan Act revenue loss will pay for such capital expenses or in the past as our Richland reinvestment. But it certainly has helped knowing that there are some additional funds if need be to help with the purchase of large capital expenses, which is what we do every budget. It's just there's another pool of funding available if need be. But it certainly didn't change our philosophy. We passed a policy early on. Marilyn Darrell Knight says we will pass the balanced budget regardless of our carryover.
And stuck to it.
And we've stuck to it.
Okay, when do you think you'll finalize this thing then, since it seems like you've got it balanced?
We're waiting on, like I said, it's not like, okay, we're balanced. We're still waiting on an answer on if probation is going to get us an answer on if that revenue go up a little bit on the salary side. Remember, we had to take on more people because the state got out of probation, but we're getting grant monies for that. But then they also lost $80,000 in a grant. So we're just waiting for probation to answer our question on that piece. And then I think we'll be able to pass it probably next
And
week.
meet with Bart.
Oh, we got to meet with Bart
So I would probably the 16th.
next week.
Probably be the 16th. At the very latest, it'd be the 23rd or whatever that Tuesday is, but
First.
21st. Yeah, so it'd be the 17th or 21st probably.
Okay, this doesn't have to do with budget, but it has to do with the sheriff this morning. That canine thing, was that the plan that you guys were talking about, that they were going to buy the cruisers and the dogs from somebody else?
We're not sure that's going to happen, so we're prepared to do it either way, whether we get the others from another entity or whether we start over, but we're prepared to do it either way within the budget.
Do you think the 90,000 will cover what they want to do? It seems to me 90,000 will only cover one cruiser and one dog.
Well, we'll probably buy the cruisers out of the ARPA money. And then the dog situation will have 90,000 to buy the dogs, the training, the housing, the equipment needed for them.
Okay, because Yeah, I guess I got kind of confused, when you were talking ARPA money the other day, to buy the cruisers. I guess you were talking about trying to get the cruisers and the dogs for reduced price, and I think that's probably what confused me. I think right now that's all I've got.
Okay, well, we will, our number, so if you want anything else, call us. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Any other? And Marilyn says she trained us well.
I knew she'd say something like,
I see that.
So it is 1:56 and we are adjourned.